and you'll be invited to participate in this beta if you like what you see with our appliances. As usual, we will be recording this webinar, and we will share a recording with everybody who has registered for the webinar. Whether you were able to make it for the webinar or not, you will receive an email with a link to the recording within a day. At any point, you're welcome to type in questions into the chat box that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. We will answer questions at the end, but feel free to put in your questions as they come up. We also have a Salesforce beta. We built a Salesforce app and are taking applications for our Salesforce beta as well. So if you're interested in that, let us know. And we do have a question for people. We have Dreamforce coming up. So if you are going to be at Dreamforce in San Francisco in September, just let us know. You should see a poll on your screen. So if you are attending Dreamforce, just let us know, and we'd be happy to chat with you when you're at Dreamforce and tell you more about our Salesforce app and other plans, or just meet with you. So if you are coming to Dreamforce in September, just click the yes button on your screen, and we'll take it from there. And otherwise, Laura, I think we are ready to see what you have in store for us.
Okay, great. I'm going to close that poll right now, and we can come back to it. And feel free to let us know if you're going to be at Dreamforce. Okay, thanks, Randir, for that introduction. I am very excited to be sharing the new Manage Users page with you all today. These changes were made based on a lot of feedback and research on the current on how current customers are using Mindflash. We realized there were a lot of workflows that could be streamlined and made more efficient, and we saw trainers having to click dozens of times to navigate around the site. We also saw a need for more user-centered views in the system. And someone is noting that the audio is choppy, so let us know if it's getting any better. Thanks for writing in. So we saw that there were some big issues around the navigation and how information was set up, and so we set out to solve those problems with the new page. So far, we've been working on this page for several months, and we've had a dozen early beta users, and we've had really enthusiastic feedback from them. Here are some quotes. So we are really excited to get this into more hands before it's released to the entire user base at the end of September. So here's just a few quotes from the beta users for you to take a look at. All right, so let's go to, let's dive in, and we're going to start talking about how Manage Users is going to make your day-to-day management of training so much easier. The first thing we hear a lot is that trainers are spending a decent amount of time reminding, resetting, or extending deadlines for their trainees. Often the trainees are in multiple courses or series, and the trainer needs to go from each course or series, take the action on the trainee, and then go to the next course or series. And if you have to do this on just 3 courses or series, it's at least a dozen clicks, if not more. It gets very tedious very quickly. The new Manage Users page allows you to see all of your trainees' course and series information from one central location, and takes it a step further to include all the management actions as well. So what we're going to do is jump right into the page and take a look. All right, so this is the new Manage Users page where all of your trainees are listed. If we click on trainee's name, and we're going to click on Jessica Anderson's name here, you'll see that this right panel appears. It first shows you her personal information like name, email, custom field information, but then you'll notice that there's tabs at the top that allow you to navigate to her courses and series. So we're going to click on her course tab and take a look at Jessica's courses. As you can see, we have all of the course data on Jessica. We see the names of the courses, we see what state each course is in, we can download her certificate for the course that she passed, and we can even add a few columns if we were so inclined. left the date divided or the date that she completed courses. So you can customize this page a little bit in that way. But we're going to get back to the problem that we were talking about, which was reminding her in all the courses she hasn't yet completed. To do this, we can either scan a list and find the in progress or invited courses, or if she has tons of different courses and we didn't want to just scan, we could filter the list by those states and then select all. Then we have the various action buttons available to us. We could set her or extend her deadline, but today we're going to remind her. So we'll just click remind, and we'll get this confirmation that yes, she has been reminded in those 3 courses and those emails were sent out. So instead of me having to jump from course to course to accomplish this task, I did it all in about 3 clicks, and now I can move on to other things. Another example I mentioned earlier that people are doing a lot is extending deadlines. So we're going to do this for Jessica's series. So we're going to jump over to her series tab. And she only has 3 series, and we can quickly see, okay, these are the 2 missed deadline series, so we'll check those, and we have the ability to set her deadline. So this calendar pops up, and let's say we'll give her another week. We'll just choose the 28th, and we'll confirm that. And she's been extended till the 28th, so when she logs in, she'll see her deadline has changed till the 28th. So again, as you can see, we've made it much quicker and easier when it comes to managing individual trainees, and we've given you more data in one centralized location, which also is going to ease the task of managing people. So let's jump back to PowerPoint. And we see that the third use case we're solving for is providing more information about when trainees are added to the system, along with the more customizable view of the Manage Users Grid. We've heard for a while that it would be helpful to know when trainees were added to the system. Often administrators are in charge of adding the trainees, but trainers are the ones in charge of assigning the courses. So the trainers want to be able to easily find all the new people and then invite them to courses. Previously, they had to find those trainees by either knowing their names or referencing some kind of outside list they were given. Now, we've added the date added column and have the ability to show or hide it on the grid. So we're going to go back to the Manage Users page. And we're going to close out of desktop. And we're going to go to this cog here. And so you'll see that you have the ability to turn various columns on or off, and one of those columns is the date added column. So we're going to have that. And again, we are looking for new people. So we're going to sort that list. And we'll see that, okay, there were 3 people added most recently, and those are the 3 people I need. So I'll just check their names. And I will click Invite. Okay, so we are in the Invite lightbox here, and we can choose courses or series, but since these are our new hire people, we're just going to invite them to the welcome training. It is required, and so we're going to invite them to one course. And we see, okay, the trainings were invited, so we know that the emails were sent out and all is well. We've heard some stories around the great links that people were going to figure out when these trainings were added to the system. So we've taken the guesswork out of the process, and now you can just add this column and you know. Hopefully this is going to make people's jobs easier. All right, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. We had talked previously at the beginning of this that reminding one trainee in all of their incomplete courses or series is time consuming. But it's also quite likely that you're going to want to remind all of your trainees who haven't completed their series or courses. And previously, you had to jump from series to series taking this action. But in this new interface, you can do it all from this one page. Okay, so let's take a look at how you do that. So first of all, we're talking about all of our trainees in the entire portal. You can always filter, but for now we're just talking about everybody. And so we're going to select everybody. And you'll notice there's this Manage button up here So we're going to click that. And we're looking at all of the courses that those people are in. But for this example, we're interested in the series. So here we see all the series these 39 people are in, and the various states they're in for each of those series. So in the All Aboard series, there's 21 people, and they're in, some are in invited, in progress, and past states. So we can tell that there are several different series here where people are invited and in progress, and that's what we're interested in. So we're going to select all of them, and we're going to take action. And we're met with this next page, which shows the various states that those trainees are in all of those series. So we could either say, okay, I just know I want to select all the invited and in progress people, or if we were wanting to just double check, oh, what is this information? Okay, we could extend these, expand these different states, and see who those people are, see what series they're in, just kind of double check, make sure that yes, this is what we're looking for. And once we're satisfied with that, we can check those people and we can click Remind. The system is going to double check with us that we want to send out all those reminders because we are reminding a lot of people. But then we can say, yes, we do want to remind those people, and we will be done. All right, and it has confirmed that it has done it. Great. So as you can probably tell, this page can be used in a lot of various ways. Another common use case is filtering the list by group or custom fields. So let's do that. So for this example, let's say we want to filter by the custom field of job title, and we're going to narrow it down to people who have the supervisor title. So we're going to open our advanced search, and when we're in the advanced search, we have the option of going through and searching for people by different names, emails, what role they are, what state they are, what groups they're in, the various custom fields, or even what training they're in and what status is. But for our example, we're looking for people with a specific job title of supervisor. So we type our information in, we double check, we're good to go, and we limit that list. Okay. So we see that our list is limited by supervisors. Now, if we're not totally sure that this is the right list, we could always add that field here and see, oh yeah, okay, yeah, all of these people are supervisors, so I do have the right information. And our goal is to extend their deadline. So we're going to select them all supervisors, click Manage, and we note that there are 3 different courses that these people are in where there are deadlines, where people in miss deadlines. So we will check those people. Again, take action. We've kind of gone through this before, but this is in courses. And all right, so there's 6 people on a missed deadline. Again, we could double check those people. Yep, those are the right people. Check that box. Click Set Deadline. Again, we'll get the calendar option and we'll give them a week. Click Done. It's going to confirm that, yep, 6 people, August 28th, that looks good to me, so I'm going to click Send, Set, and you'll notice they've moved out of the missed deadline state because they're not in the missed deadline anymore. We just gave them that extension. Okay, so as you just saw, we've done all of these management tasks in about half the time it would normally take. If you're spending any time at all moving around the current site, I'm sure you can see how this new interface is just going to save you tons of time and effort, which is our goal here. And then one last thing to note on the major functionality of managing your trainees here is just how quickly you can go through your trainees and browse their information. So let's say, for instance, that you want to go through your trainees and see what groups they're in, just to make sure that they're set up correctly. You're the admin, you know what groups people should be in, or you just want to make sure that everyone is assigned to a group. What you could do is select a trainee. We go to the Information tab, but if we click Groups, we see Sophia's in Midwest. And then once I'm satisfied that looks good, I can just click through my various trainees. And instead of jumping from the information tab to the group tab and back again, I just stay on the groups tab. So if I'm focused on the groups, I can stay on the groups. The same would be the case if I was on the courses tab and clicking through my trainees. It would keep me on the courses tab, assuming that that's what I'm working on right now and that's what I want to focus on. You can always change that focus and that stickiness by clicking away, but it will continue to remember that. So again, we've put these things in place to remember your preferences and reduce the amount of clicks you need to do. Okay, so that's it for our main overview. Obviously, there's other things that this does, but we wanted to touch on the main things that are going to affect your day-to-day management of your trainees. But as you can see, this new page is allowing you to do all the tasks you were able to do before, but in significantly less time now. And there's actually more tasks that you can accomplish that you weren't able to do before with that bulk view. And as I mentioned earlier, we've spoken to many of you. We heard time and time again that the navigation through Mindflash could be more streamlined. So we listened, and this is the first step in the direction of streamlining the product, and more to come. So we're really excited and are hoping you guys are excited too. So let's talk a little bit about the beta program, and then we can jump into some questions. But let's look at some details about the beta program and how you can join. All right. So the beta program starts now, and it's going to last until the end of September. And at that time, we will be turning the new interface on for all accounts. When you get the new Manage Users page, all your data is going to remain the same. So nothing there changes. It's just displayed in this new way. The beta does turn the new Manage Users page on for the entire account. So it's not going to impact trainees. They don't see any changes. But if you're an administrator, trainer, manager, team lead, or reporter, you're going to see this new page when you log in. If you join the beta and decide that you want to revert to the old page for whatever reason, you can. You just need to email us. But do know that once the beta is over, again, end of September, you'll be getting this new page with everyone else. So it's going to be a short rollback time period. It won't be forever. And then I want to mention that there are a few things you cannot do on these pages at the moment. These are things that we're currently building, and so they'll be available when the beta is over at the end of September. So one of those things is you can't update group membership in bulk. You would have to do this via Excel, or you can use the old groups page that still exists, and that is under setup, and you can click groups. You can still get to the groups page and edit your groups, but the bulk view for this in this new interface is coming at the end of the beta. You cannot update custom fields in bulk, so if you wanted to change everyone's job title to supervisor, you would either have to do that via Excel or one by one. And then lastly, if you're a trainer, manager, team lead, or reporter and you log in, you won't be able to get to your profile from this specific page. Any other page in the site, you can access your profile, just not this new one. And again, that's coming. Okay, so and one last thing. This program is open to any customer who's interested. And so what I'm going to do now is put out one more poll, and that is just going to let you say if you'd like to be part of our beta. However, if you have more questions and you aren't quite sure if this is something you're interested in, that's fine. Just email us at beta@mindflash.com and we can answer any of those questions. However, if you do answer yes to this poll, do know that we are looking for administrators to opt in, just because we do need administrator permission. So if you're not one, have your administrator contact us, or we can reach out to you as well. And if you do say yes, then we will turn this on for your account today, and we'll also send you some help articles as well. So, you know, if you're you have this page on and you're not sure exactly how to perform some tasks, help articles should help you out. And you can always email us beta@mindflash.com and we can answer questions as well. Okay, so those are the ins and outs of the beta program. I do want to point out one more thing on the interface, and that is this product feedback box. Use this box. Tell us what your feedback is, positive, negative, anything that we can improve on. We do read these emails, especially in the beta program where we are helping to improve the product. So we are hoping you want to join, and we're excited to get your feedback in early. And I think we're going to move it on to questions now and see, let's see, you might not be able to see. Let me close the poll, and just in case you guys didn't see product feedback up right here, and you can type in anything here and it gets sent to us. So I think that was probably hidden by the poll. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so we are going to move on to questions and see if anybody has any. 1 second. While I get caught up with all the questions here, and feel free to keep entering them. We'll just go through them.
Okay, so we'll just hit them in order here. And if you, as Laura said, if you do have any further questions, please feel free to enter them, and we'll just address any of those before we leave. Also, if you have any other questions about Mindflash, we're happy to answer those. It doesn't have to be just about what you saw here. So feel free to enter that in. The question box is on the right-hand side there. So first question, when you send a reminder, do they get one email or more for each course?
Yeah, so the emailing functionality hasn't changed. So just like in the past where if you went and reminded people in various courses, they get various emails, they still do that. So, if you're reminding someone in 15 courses, they're going to get a lot of emails. Now, obviously, if you're reminding them in a series, they're getting one email per series, but the email functionality itself has not changed.
Can I reset a single course within a series from this new screen?
That is a great question, and yes, you can. So I didn't go into that, but let us quickly show you. I just need to find someone who's in a series, which apparently is not very many people. Here we go. Okay, so you would just go to the series that the trainee is in, and if you click on the series name, you'll drill down into the one more level, and you will see the various courses that are in that series. So this particular series only has one course. Most of the time there's going to be multiple courses, but you can see the name of the course, the state, and then the ability to reset. You can also, from here, if they had completed, you could add that column and have that information as well. So just drill down into it, and then you have the ability to reset and see a little bit more information about that particular series.
Okay, great. Can you export to Excel the information from Manage Users page?
At this point, you cannot do that. We know that that would be helpful, so we're looking at adding that, but at this point, that's not available.
So Laura, if I can just add to that, there is the ability to export the information that you see on this page. It is available through our advanced reports functionality for users on the advanced and pro plans. So that is available through your export all functionality in advanced reports. If you do have questions on that, Gord, and you are on the advanced and pro plan, just email your customer success manager, or you can email us directly and we'll get you connected.
Is it possible to see the custom fields and the groups in the main list view?
Yes and no. So you can see all the custom fields. So I could add job title and employee ID, which are the two custom fields that are in this particular portal. The groups, adding groups to this view is not something that's currently available. That's something that we are looking to add by the time beta is over. So that is on our roadmap.
Just want to clear one question. We have a question here that says, will the quick poll be an option for us in the future? That's actually a function of GoToWebinar, which is the tool we're using for this webinar. Unfortunately, since most of our courses are self-paced and not everyone's online at the same time, the quick poll tends to not work real well in our environment, but we're always looking for ideas. So if you think that's something that could be of use, then certainly you can submit that feedback, and we can look into how we might be able to implement something like that in the future. Okay, this looks great. All right, that's awesome. An additional piece of functionality that would help user management would be the ability to set a course completion date as well as a course access closure date. Example, student has to complete an online course or pass the test prior to attending a classroom training, but we still want them to have access for 6 months after they were sent their invitation. So that is not a function that we have at the moment. People are given the amount of time that you allow them to complete the course. During that time, they can access it and take the course, but it would actually, the deadline is just a single date that is for the course. So I definitely understand what you're looking for there, and that's something that we can add to our feature request list for sure. Thanks for submitting that. Okay. Are you planning to implement more functionality to manage users from Azure AD, Active Directory, group assignments based on Active Directory attributes? So at the moment, our Active Directory integration is managed through Okta, which does not support that functionality. We have a couple of other options for doing that you may consider depending on exactly how you're using the integration. One is that you can do that through our API, and that is a function that's available to any of our pro customers. The other option for this is our single sign-on, which this is actually not a function of at the moment, but will be in the very near future, depending on exactly what you want to do. I hesitate to say group assignment is available through that. Do you know if that's the case? I'll have to check on that, and we can get back to you on that. But certainly, adding users is a possibility through that in the very near future, whereas before they had to exist in Mindflash previously. So we can follow up with you on that and make sure that we have an answer for you. Will we be able to remove folks from a group or delete a group?
I can take that one. So yes, right now, again, you can still do this if you go to the setup button and go to groups. You can still take that action. However, at the end of the beta, we'll be adding that interface in this new design, and so you will be able to do those things in bulk. Yeah, so that answers the question. Go ahead.
Will we be able to remove folks from a group or delete a group? Oh, sorry, I just read that one. I'd really like to pick which emails get sent to my trainees, or at least customize them. Is this in future releases?
So it's not part of, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, it's not part of this beta release or this specific project. We have heard some questions about email customization, so it's something that we're looking into, but it's not in the near future. So I do just want to set that expectation.
We have a comment from someone saying this is pretty darn exciting, looks awesome. Thank you for the feedback. We appreciate that. Please sign up for the beta if you're interested. Just let us know. We can get that turned on for you today, most likely. Will it be possible in the future to generate a single reminder or invitation that lists all the courses the trainee needs to take? The multiple emails will be counterproductive. So there is not a plan for this immediate feature, but one thing you may consider is that when you use a series, you can remind people or set up a reminder in a series, and it would remind them of all of the courses they need to do, and the workflow from that is it would send them back into the product, obviously, into Mindflash, and they would have that list of courses in front of them. So if that's something that you face frequently and you have a lot of courses that people need to finish, it's definitely a tactic that you might think about using in order to reduce the number of emails, because it definitely can be a lot. And especially if you're not enforcing the order in which they take those courses, they can kind of go take whatever they want. So something to consider that might solve your problem. Does this still have the filter for active and archived trainees?
So yes, it does. It is in the advanced filter, so by default it's just showing you active people, but if you wanted to change it to see everybody or any state or just archive, you could come in here and take that action and change the view that you're looking at. So that's still available to you. It's just in a different location now.
Can I duplicate a course, rename for new groups, delete, and add certain slides with additional audio, retaining the slides from the original course? The idea is to avoid the need to record all previous audio slides as summer repeats. So a lot of steps in that question, but the answer is yes. When you're on the home screen, you can duplicate a course, or you can copy a course is what the function is called. That makes an exact copy of that course in terms of all the content and the quizzes and settings and things. So that'll start you at the exact same place you are. You can rename it there and then assign it to other folks. That's a great tactic for doing that. Certainly if you have courses that differ slightly from one segment of your users to another. Another possibility that you may entertain is if there are parts of that course or the bulk of that course remains the same for all of your users or a large section of your users, but certain sections are different, you may consider using a series. You would create the part that doesn't change as a single course, and then the supplemental pieces for each of your different groups, you may create a little course for, combine each of those into a series so that they're right for each of your groups, and then invite people that way. But both are options. One other thing to consider is if you need to edit this a lot, you may record your audio directly in PowerPoint. That way the audio is tied specifically to the slides in PowerPoint, and you can mix and match in PowerPoint and then upload it to Mindflash. So there's lots of ways you can deal with that, and certainly, if you have any specific questions around that in your specific scenario, we'd be happy to kind of walk through what the best solution would be for you, but you do have several options there, and certainly copying a course is an option. Is it possible to lock a user account automatically as soon as the course is completed by the user? So I think what that's asking is it able to just archive them so they can't log in once the course is complete?
Yeah, and the answer to that is no. That's an interesting idea, but that's currently not a feature that we have.
Okay. Will it be possible to delete users?
So that's not part of the current backlog of this particular new feature. However, we've heard that a few times, so it's good feedback to know that more people are interested in it. So we'll take note of that. So thanks.
Compliments for the great progress made on the screen. Good job, Laura, and the rest of the team. We have our trainees access online prior to live training. Will we be able to have an option in the future to merge the two so that the training scores can be merged? This, I believe, is a function, if I'm understanding the question correctly, the scenario is you have people do online training and then they go do live training. This is actually a function that is supported currently. We offer the ability to do live training or track live training on our Pro tier. You would set it up as a live training course, and then in this scenario, if you really wanted to, you could join them together in a series. So they would be invited to the series. They would go and take the online course, and then they'd be effectively allowed to go into the live training or the in-person training. And then you can even put in a score for the in-person training, and the score for the series would be the combination of the two. So I believe that solves the problem, and certainly we have more documentation on what the live training or in-person training functions that we are or that we have are. If you're on the Pro tier, you have access to that now. If you're not, then certainly we could walk you through it and see if that's a good match for you. Can emails have a delivery date? I think what this is asking, Laura, is can you schedule your emails to go out at certain times?
Yeah, and actually there's a few questions about email customization. So they don't have a delivery date, and another question that is regarding emails as well as if emails are sent out and deadlines are set, and right now they're not. So this is a very interesting list of questions all around email customization. So it does sound like a lot of people are interested in that. So something we will be taking a look at.
On a very basic level, if you, for example, want a course to be open to everyone or accessible to everyone on a specific date, you can load all those people into the course and have them in the course. As long as the course is still in draft mode, no emails will be sent out. And then in order to kick off all those emails, you just move it into an active mode, and it would automatically send out those emails right away. So I realize that's a very simplistic way of addressing, part of your scenario, but that is one way to do that in mass with a new course. So you may think about that. When a deadline is extended, does an email go out to let the participant know?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But no, there's no email that gets sent out, but it sounds like another email customization request. So it's good to know.
Is it possible to auto-promote a person when they have completed one series into another, or at least get a reminder that someone has completed a series?
So that's also kind of an email request, but no, there's no way to currently auto-promote somebody when they've completed a series. And then regarding sending out reminders to the trainers, right now there are those kinds of emails, but they're only on the course level, which is probably why you said series specifically. So great point. No, that's not available right now, but a good enhancement, a trainee activity email for series as well.
Yeah. This is a quick comment, but I did want to address it. It's a very good enhancement. Due to ourselves being in software development, I fear the use of a beta version due to unexpected results. I need to think about it. So this is a beta from our perspective because we're offering it as early access, and really this is in beta for us because we know there's a couple of the functions which Laura highlighted that are not in there. In terms of its reliability and its function, it's 100%. Everything we release goes through our normal QA process, and it's no different than if we released a new feature into the system that we would just turn on for everyone. So the only reason this is in beta is because we believe that there are a couple of functions that are missing. So as long as the list of functions that Laura went through are not a problem for you, there should be no reason to be concerned about this. And certainly, if that is still a concern for you, that's fine. It'll have another month and a half to sort of percolate out there, or a month, I guess, until we turn it on. But don't be worried about the reliability or things be going haywire. We test this extensively, and we're confident that it works as well as any other feature we release.
Yeah, and what you're seeing today has already been used for the last several weeks by over a dozen large customers with hundreds or even thousands of users.
Good point.
So this is not the first time that anyone is using the software outside of Mindflash. But if you are hesitant for any reason, this is only an option and an offer. You certainly don't have to take it right now, and you can just wait till the end of September when this rolls around.
Yeah.
But thanks for that feedback.
Yeah, for sure. When a test is conducted through Mindflash, the copy of the test is created in the user's account. Is there a way to avoid that? I'm not sure I totally understand that question.
I think the question is that people are able to go and review that test once they've taken it. So this same person had asked about locking someone out as soon as they were finished. So
okay.
So yeah, they are able to see the test that they previously took. So again, another good feature request.
Yeah, and really the only way to lock someone out is to archive them. So in order to do that completely, you could archive them, and that would prohibit them from logging into the system at all. So it would stop them from that. Okay, is it possible to add OpenOffice as well as Microsoft file names to the upload ability? I use OpenOffice to create PowerPoints, but can't upload them. So this is very unlikely to be added, just full disclosure, in the near term. We get very few requests for this. We occasionally hear it, but I don't want to set expectations that we're going to do it. I mean, certainly we'll put it on sort of a long-term roadmap, but there are no immediate plans to add this in the near term. Can we lock a course or a catalog for editing by specific trainers? So I think this is a question around content permissioning, Laura?
Yes. Yeah, and so content permissioning is something on our longer-term roadmap so that you can specify which trainers see which courses, but it's not something that is going to be done probably this year, I would assume. But again, it is on the long-term roadmap.
When I set a passing grade for a series, why does that score not auto-populate in the courses?
Yeah, so that question I'm not sure. There might be a bug. We might want to take that question offline and look into your specific use case because I'm not sure what's going on there.
Fair enough. Will you be adding more fields to the screen? Example, modified date, number of courses, series assigned, last login, etc.
So that question is great. That's the kind of feedback we're looking for this beta. You know, we added some fields we definitely knew people were interested, but we are happy to hear all of those kinds of requests and ideas as well, just because people have different needs and then we don't always know all of them. So please, you know, send that kind of information into feedback and we'll take note of that one as well.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, but I mean, certainly they can see the number of courses and series assigned just by clicking on a user. So the question may be in the grid view, which is fair, but you can access that pretty easily just by clicking on one of the users.
Right.
I've had trainees complain that they cannot retake a failed test. They can only see the results. So this is a feature that's actually available on all the courses. You have the ability to allow them to retake the course. If you enable that, they can restart from the beginning for that course themselves and retake it. So that's a function that you can choose whether or not you want to use. You know, note of caution, it will knock out their original attempt on that course, so you would not have the score from the original attempt. So it's something to keep in mind, but it is an option you can turn on if you want to. Wallet size certificates, we need some of our trainees to have proof of competence when they go to a site carrying an 8x11 version is not practical. Fair enough, we'll add that to our request list and see if we can accommodate that at a future date. For live training, are you currently working on a feature that would allow you to set the actual date? That's not something that's currently under development, but it is certainly on our list of things to do to live training. Our live training was released just a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago. So there's certainly some requests that have come in around that, and it's something that we'll look at enhancing for sure in the future. But we've actually had some pretty good feedback around that and a lot of good ideas on what we can do. And so I think there's a lot of things, a lot of great enhancements that we can do in the future, and certainly we'll address those in the not so distant future. I'm more than willing to train the trainer on Mindflash. Will you be offering an online course yourself on how to use Mindflash? We don't offer those courses at the moment. We have some very high-level overviews, and certainly any of these sessions we record and put on our YouTube channel. I would definitely recommend that you visit our YouTube channel if you're interested in that. We go through a lot of our feature releases in depth, like we have on this one, and we have a long backlog of feature releases there and webinars that you can take a look at. We don't have immediate plans to have courses around how to train on how to use Mindflash, but it is something that we have discussed at length and we'll probably be offering at some point down the road.
I'll also note that if you decide to join the beta, we actually have set up various help hints around the site. I turned them off for this demo, but when you get in there, you'll have little videos that show you how to do things in the new site. So we do have some training with the new beta.
Great.
And
okay.
one more, oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
We're at the end of the questions, but I'm going to open this poll just back up as we're closing in case people didn't get a chance to respond. Just want to say that, but go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just going to say we're at the end of our questions, so we can go on from there.
Oh, and there's one more question. Does this page show the delay in a training course or series? Maybe that means the duration?
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that, but if you would like to maybe give us a little more detail on that, if you want to email help@mindflash.com, and we might be able to address that in more depth with our support team, and we'll get back to you quickly on that.
Great.
Great.
All right. Just as a reminder, the session will be recorded, and you'll get a link to the recording. If you want to review any of this, you'll get that email with the link by tomorrow. For all of you who have indicated you want to be in the beta, which is almost 2/3 of you, thank you for that overwhelming response. We will turn on your beta access, assuming that the request has come from an admin on the account. This will affect all the users in your account, and they'll all be able to enjoy this new functionality. And as a reminder, we also have our Salesforce app, which is also available in beta. So if you have any interest in your company participating in that, so that you can see all your training data directly in Salesforce, you can see the impact the training has had on revenue or tickets or other things that you already track in Salesforce. This would be a great way to do that. You can manage your training from Salesforce. You don't have to keep going back to Mindflash and switching between the two. So if you're interested in that, just let us know at beta@mindflash.com. Thanks once again. This was a great session, lots of interesting questions, and lots of food for thought for future enhancements for us. We're thrilled that you are as excited as we are about the new Manage Users. We think it'll save you a lot of time, and we look forward to reading your comments from the product feedback on the top right of that page. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you.